Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be super duper quick. I'm going to show you how I've been doing my brows. Please excuse the no makeup. I will be filming a tutorial after this, so I thought that I would just show you guys really quick how I do my brows on a day-to-day basis. I always do my brows before my makeup for a couple of reasons. One being, you'll see in a second, I don't have that many hairs, so I have to really sculpt them out and pretty much paint them on. And so when I do that with foundation underneath, sometimes the product tends to wear off a little bit more throughout the day, so that's why I like to do it first and then I go around it with foundation. Second of all, it takes me a really long time, so I always like to get that out of the way. And also, brows are such a main part of the face that I like to spend a little extra time on them, so that's why I do them first. Before we get into the tutorial, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the notification button. That means that you will be able to be notified every single time I post a video. And with that being said, let's get into the tutorial. So, to get our brows from looking like this to this, just takes a few steps, folks. So I'm going to take this Anastasia brush. I actually don't know which one it is. I will link it down below. I don't know if there was like a letter on it. If there was, it rubbed off, so it does not say anymore. This is what I've been using for the past few months. It's the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade. I am in the shade medium brown. So, like I said, I've been using this for several months, and this is all that I've used. I mean, it's a significant dent in it, but it really, there's so much product left in here, which is something that I love about this. Another thing that I love about it is that it's waterproof, I think. I don't know if it's water resistant, waterproof, one of those, which is awesome for me because I feel like most brow products by the end of the day slide off. As you can see, I don't have that much hair in my brows. I have to fill in quite a bit, so having something that's water resistant really helps it last all day long for me, which is why I love this so much. So I just take the tiniest amount, and I already have some in there from doing my other brow earlier, and I put it in the lid, and then I'll take this brush right here, and you don't want to start out with too much. I'll take the spoolie and I'll brush it through my brows first, and then here's a little rule of thumb. If you take your brush and you press it up against your nose right here, that's where your brow should start. Right there, so I do a light little flick. Then I take it on my nostril and I go through the pupil, if you see that, the center of my eye. This is hard to explain, okay. So I go through the center of my eye and I just kind of make another little mark right there. Make sure it's visible enough. Then I go from the side of my nose to the edge of my eye, bring it up and make a mark there, and that's where it should end. Now that we've made our light guide marks, I like to dip the brush into the pomade in the lid, and I always start on the outer part of my eyebrow, so I'll just start by making little flicks just to define the base of the brow. I feel like that's one of the most important parts, is to make this area here look really clean. I know that my brows are not perfectly groomed right now, and then usually aren't ever. I'm not a brow expert. Then I'll take what's left on the brush and I'll start to just kind of bring it in. And I keep looking back and forth at my other brow to make sure that, you know, things aren't getting too crazy on one or the other. Once I've kind of established that line underneath, I'll take my spoolie and I'll brush the hairs down. That looks crazy. It looks like I have like 0 brows right now, but I'm just going back into the pomade that is in the lid. See the faint mark that we made earlier? I'm going to use that as a guide to where our arch should be. And again, I like to start when I dip my brush into the pomade. I start at the outer part of the eyebrow because I feel like that looks darker naturally usually. So then I just kind of create a line above the brow too, a nice clean crisp line, keeping that arch mark in mind. And then I brush it back up and you can see it already looks a lot better. So now it's just time for like little touch-ups and things like that. Before I go too far, you can kind of see the clear lines that have been made here, so that's where I like to take what's left on the brush and start to flick it in the center of my eyebrow just to mimic like hair-like strokes. Okay, so we're basically almost done. I'm just trying to make sure that my brows look very similar This one seems to be a little bit darker around this area, so I'm just filling in a little bit more here. And you just kind of keep building it until it matches the brow pretty well. Of course, it does not have to be exact. I don't think anybody's brows are supposed to be exact, so if they're slightly mismatched, that's alright. It actually looks more natural in my opinion. It's hard to do with a little mirror, so I'm going to move to my big mirror really quick and just make sure that they look pretty similar. That's as good as it's gonna get. Now I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia. This is the Anastasia Pro Pencil in the shade Base 1. It can be used as a concealer for your eyelids and a primer as well, but I've also seen it used to sculpt out your brows, which is what I like to do. So I'll just take it and run it super close to my brow. And also I draw a line right above the brow too. Then I'm just going to go in with this concealer brush and I'm going to blend that out. And I take my time with this part because it can really make or break the cleanliness look of your eyes, or of your brows, I mean. The one thing I may not like about this product, and it's kind of my own fault I guess, is I've noticed it doesn't blend over dry patches very easily, and sometimes my brows get really dry. But other than that, it does a really good job of concealing and sculpting the brow, I feel like. As far as the front of the brow goes, I like to keep dragging it in a straight line, and then I will blend up the excess right here. But I feel like that just helps it look a little bit more clean. Last but not least, I like to take some clear mascara. This is just from the drugstore. It's Great Lash from Maybelline, and this is a very cheap way to set your brows. I think this is only like a couple dollars, so I like to just take it and run it lightly. I wipe off the excess first on the side of the bottle before I apply it to my brows, and then I just lightly run it through my brow hairs. And after that, you can see some pieces have kind of clumped together, so I like to take a clean spoolie and kind of run that over it. And then I make any minor adjustments that need to be made. Overall, I think it looks okay. Okay, so that is it for my brow routine. I've been doing this for a few months now, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I am not a brow pro, but I just really wanted to show you guys how I've been doing my brows, and I know some of you were interested, so I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!